come down.
And gloomy and cloudy and kind of cold for once in a very long time here in SoCal. So anyway, again, that's the weather report. This is the Demetra K Show. For those of you who are following on the podcast and soon to be YouTube, and as always, the live followers on Facebook, thank you so much for joining me. I can't see who's on yet, so I'll just ramble until then. As always, it is my goal of the show to promote and talk about the things that are happening within the Black community, to come to some sort of understanding, form some solutions so that we can ultimately make it from the bottom of the totem pole to our rightful place in society and ultimately the world.
Well, can I ask you something, since we're waiting for people to come in? Did you see that post of Sean Combs was talking about? He was saying basically the same thing you've been saying.
I haven't.
For weeks. The one where he was saying, well, we got to start doing business with each other, economics with each other.
Yeah, you did. You posted me in that.
Yeah.
And so I see that there are two people on. And for those of you, I'm just going to explain this. I'm going to explain this. On my live feed, you can't see Donovan, but on the YouTube and the podcast, they can't see him, but on YouTube you'll be able to see him. What's going on is Donovan is the producer of this show. It is actually him that's taking this to other places besides Facebook. So he's sitting next to me, working all the bells and the whistles and stuff. And so you'll hear him from time to time chime in, just kind of help keep the show moving. So without further ado, I will get into the topic at hand. Hey, Quentin, how are you? I'm so happy to see you. You inquired about me last week. Are you going live? And I've been on hiatus, so I'm back.
Yeah, so, why were you on hiatus?
I was busy. I was busy. So anyway, for those of you, hey, baby, the topic is white friends. How many of us have them? Now, I know that topic probably seems like, oh gosh, maybe it's a Houdini song, white friends. How many of us have them? No, not
yes.
Not quite. So anyway, I'll go ahead and start with a quote from Malcolm X. Now, this quote came from, it says Texas lost, but I'm here to a winner. Okay. Who? Okay, so this quote that I'm about to read came from Malcolm X. He did it during an interview in 1963. I forget who the guy was. Hey, Didi. Who was interviewing him, but this is among a plethora of things that he was saying during the interview. He says he has a white man who is friendly, but being friendly and being a friend are two different things. I think there are many whites who act friendly towards Negroes. A fox acts friendly towards the lamb, and usually the fox is the one who ends up with the chop on his plate. Now, again, that was Malcolm X during an interview. And so he was kind of rounding up a question that was given to him, basically saying, well, are white people really our friends, or are they just friendly toward us? And so I actually saw that interview a few months back, and the question has kind of stuck with me for a while. And so I wanted to tie in some of the things that we've been seeing in the media play out and kind of maybe try to answer this question. So while I'm going through some examples of recent times of people maybe being friends or friendly, I want you guys to think of the question: can white people actually be our friends, or are they just friendly? So I'll go ahead and read some of my examples that I saw in the media lately. Okay, so some of you guys have probably been seeing the expose that's been coming out about Martin Luther King. And the last couple of days, there are these files that have been opened up, basically saying that he was an adulterer. That he engaged in a lot of orgies, drunken orgies, and prostitutes, and all this other stuff. Now, it is said that Coretta Scott King, which was his wife, knew about these things, but I guess this file, as of recently, almost 50 years to the day, opened up. And so you'll see all these publications talking about it. Basically, I would say dragging MLK and his legacy through the mud. Now, reason why I bring him up with friends versus being friendly is Martin Luther King basically sold black people civil rights. And he was doing that in conjunction with the government. Of course, the government ultimately gave black people civil rights, and I'm sure they were friendly, or maybe he thought they were his friends. And so here we have 50 years later to where I don't know who they are. I have my speculation whether it's the government or whoever, but now they're putting out of all the stuff you can put out about Martin Luther King, you're going to put out that he's, been having, and I'm going to get you guys' comments in just a second, these adulterous orgies and just the worst stuff. And I've been reading about this for the last 2 or 3 days. Okay, so did he fall victim of thinking maybe the government was his friend, or were they just being friendly toward him? Next, we have our good friend Steve Harvey, who has all of his shows, from his TV shows, Family Feud, the new show in LA, and his radio shows. They have been taking a hit in the ratings. They're saying that his ratings are suffering really bad, and they're saying his people are saying it's because of Trump, him going to see Trump. I kind of think it's Trump, in addition to, Steve Harvey's actually famous for saying, we need to learn how to dance with who brought us. Well, I think Steve Harvey forgot that, and that we know it was black people who were laughing at his corny jokes, the kings of comedy. Black people put him where he is, to where he was able to receive these big white checks from the white companies. And so he fell into the trap of, well, they're my friends too, to the point to where he started to thumb his nose at black people. I don't give a damn about slavery. When it came down to Paula, what's her name? Paula Dean. When she got caught up, with talking bad about black people and, calling us niggers and stuff, he had her on the show and said she was going to be cooking for his mentoring camp of boys, and he don't care with black people, all this other stuff. So here he is. His ratings are suffering. Where are the white people now to save him? Were white people watching those things then? Right.
And what about Chrisette Michele?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Chrisette Michele. Chrisette Michele, she's also learning. She's
on an apology tour right now.
Yeah, she can have it. Trump paid her $250,000 to perform at his inaugural ball after she saw a plethora of people saying, no, I'm good. I don't want to be associated with you. And Questlove from The Roots even offered to pay her to not do it. Don't do it, Chrisette, because he saw that she was getting ready to commit career suicide. And I promise you guys, I'm going to get to all your comments. And so here she is. She's had to cancel some tours because her ticket sales are low.
She was dropped by her record company.
The record company dropped her. Spike Lee was going to use her for his She's Got a Habit series, her to sing some music. And he said, no, thank you. And moving right along, you guys have probably seen the college student, Jazzy Rowe. And not that she thought the white girl was her friend, because they didn't go into the dorms as friends. But Jazzy Rowe is a girl. She's a freshman at Hartford College in Connecticut, who had a white roommate who got on Instagram and said that she finally got rid of the Jamaican Barbie doll by sticking the girl's toothbrush, and she said in places where the sun don't shine. So most of us can kind of ascertain that means her butt and other places. Spitting her coconut oil, put rotten fish something in her face soap, and a used tampon on her stuff. But Jazzy was also saying that she had tried to be friends with this girl. And so it's like, okay, well, you see kind of where they got you. Not that I'm blaming her. Nobody ever deserves that to happen to her. And then I got 2 more examples, and I'll get your comments. So say we have Tyrese. Tyrese has been on this. I don't know what it is. He's been crying a lot lately in the media, the social media, and he's been blaming The Rock in Hollywood. Now, I'm not saying that The Rock is white, but Hollywood is. He's been blaming Hollywood and The Rock for his financial troubles. They won't hire him, and basically they kind of turned his back on him due to the stuff that he's going through with his ex-wife and his daughter, the custody battle. And so last, and certainly not least, I'm sure you guys have plenty of examples. We have the, I guess, how can I say this? I have to say Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake, who basically has made a copious amounts of music with a lot of black artists. He's had all of us dancing to his music and buying all of his stuff. Janet Jackson learned the hard way that Justin was not her friend. And as of lately, we are going to, not we, because I'm not watching, but if you're going to watch the Super Bowl, you'll have the opportunity to see Justin Timberlake perform at the Super Bowl halftime. Now, again, this man has, I would say, gotten great off of the backs of black people by making soul R&B music. And now here he is. He's going to, I don't know if they get paid for it. I heard that they don't.
They do.
Or maybe they do.
They do.
But he's going to perform at the Super Bowl halftime, which, you know, a lot of people, especially a lot of black people, are boycotting the Super Bowl because of the police brutality that's gone on, and injustice with black people, and the national anthem just kind of being racist, right? And so he's going to take the money and saying, well, thanks, black people. So I guess maybe he was just being friendly. He wasn't really our friends. And so now the question I have is, and then, of course, every Trump with every Negro that he's ever come into
destroyed him.
Yeah. Where's Omarosa? Have you guys seen Omarosa? Anybody seen her?
She was walked out the back door.
She's walked out the back door, and we ain't seen her since. So you guys put an APB out for Omarosa. She's missing. And so the question I have is, do we have white friends, or are they just friendly toward us? Okay, so I will get to your comments. Let's see, where did I leave off? I know that was a lot, but I just kind of wanted to lay the foundation. Dee Dee says, I have a lot of them. Okay, you say you have a lot of them. Hey, Billy says, hello, I'm free to watch you this weekend. Yay! Shauna, what's happening? Hannah, he says, I know a lot, serve with a lot, friends with none. Friendship with me is hard to get. Okay, so you're saying friendship with you in general is hard to get. So it's not just white people and black people, just in general. And so Shawnee says, right, she can have that. Talking about Chrisette. And then Billy says, Steve tried to bust Bernie Mac out of, that's who it was. I couldn't think of who it was. I thought it was Ced the Entertainer, but it was Bernie Mac. See, he tried to bust Bernie Mac out of the Ocean's 11 and 12 movie because he had health problems. But yet you see him crying, oh, I miss Bernie Mac. He was such this, that, and the other. You see it all the time. And then Shawnee says, oh, yes, the college student, that was horrible. Yes, it was beyond horrible. She better be happy it wasn't me or nobody I know, because they be looking for that girl. I promise you.
They should be charging that girl with bioterrorism.
And attempted murder.
Attempted murder.
And then so you also say, woo, what a mess. And Billy says, I'll beat the brakes off that strumpet. Yeah, I think a lot of us would. I mean, like I said on my post the other day, I'm not a violent person, but Claude, have mercy. The police wouldn't even have a chance. They'd be like, "Where's the body?" That's all they would be coming to do is retrieve the body.
I sometimes wonder if it was reversed, how quickly they would have thrown that black girl in jail, charged her with whatever they needed to charge her with.
That black girl would be under the damn jail with no bail.
Right.
Let's see. And Billy also say Tyrese learning they don't love his ass. I mean, but it's like, come on, right? You've seen it happen to so many people. I mean, I get that he's distraught about his child, so I'll give him that. But it's like to throw Hollywood and The Rock, and it's like, you think you're any different?
Well, have you noticed that people who tell other people how they should live once they've made it?
Yeah, because Tyrese has been on, for a couple years. He's been castigating everybody from black women to dark women to men to women who don't have flat stomachs and, the weave. And he's just been on one like this holier than thou thing. And so now here you are, humbled before everybody. And it sounds like his little court case or allegations with his daughter was resolved. They dropped it. So, hopefully he does get his daughter back. But it's just kind of like, now you're humble. And so Allie said the only white men that get a pass are the Dr. Johnny Fever of WKR, Philip Drummond of Different Strokes, Starsky and Hutch, Dave Kaplan from Welcome Back Kotter, Mattress Mac, JJ Watt, my dad,
wow,
my best friend Patrick, and Greg Tallis, my personal banker at Chase. There is something wrong with you.
There you go.
But okay, that's fair. Quentin says, great question. Shauna says, I don't have as much as I once did. Now, why is that? And you also say, but that will make you get violent. Stuck my toothbrush up her bottom. No, ma'am. Yeah, I mean, and then she got on Instagram.
Eating ass.
Yeah, well, she's bragging about it. And the girl, Jazzy, the black girl, she was violently ill. She kept going back and forth to the doctor with sore throat problems and all these other things. They couldn't figure out why. But yeah, so here this girl is. And then that go to show you, too, it must be nice to be a white woman, because you can do these horrible things to somebody and then get on social media and not even
brag
worry
about
that,
it.
not even worry that anything's going to happen to you. Like, I would be scared to do that. I'd be scared to even brag about shoplifting in Walmart.
Well, what do I always say when it comes to issues between black and white? When it comes down to the black folks, what you gonna do?
What you gonna do? Right. Well, I don't know.
Nothing.
And so Hannah says, my Marine crew will do whatever I ask quicker than some so-called friends. To be honest, most of them are cops and Trumpers now. Laugh out loud. Okay. So you're saying you have white friends who will do things for you, but are they friendly? Or are they truly your friends? And Billy, you say, I would have took that body to the police. I think I would have made them look for her. Hey, Kyle, Craig, how are you? Thank you. So you're looking good. I haven't seen you on in a while. I hope everything has been going well for you. I know you've been going after your comedian thing, so I hope that is all going well for you. Shauna, you say, I'm glad that Chrisette, Tyrese, and Steve see the power of the black dollar. I wish we did this with those companies who act as if they don't want our money. Yes, we need to do that, and that's fine that they don't want our money. We can go and start our own businesses, which is what we should be doing anyway. As Dr. Claude Anderson has for years, and many others, Marcus Garvey and all of them, have impressed upon the black community to shop with each other and start practicing group economics. So that's fine. They don't want our money. We shouldn't even want to give it to them, right? But hey, Secret Garden, what's happening? He says, I have Italian friends, but no white friends. Okay, let me ask you, what's the difference? Because I'm not saying there is. I'm just maybe a little ignorant to that. What's the difference between white and Italian? And Shawnee says she needs to pay for those doctor bills the young lady had because of all that she did. Yes. Now, mind you, I mean, she was spending money that she didn't have, to go to the doctor. She's a college student. I mean, it's just like, it's just crazy to me. And then the white girl, she only got $1,000 bail. She got $1,000 bail, bailed out. So, and at first, she finally got expelled because it went viral. But Jazzy, the black girl, was saying that she didn't even know she was going to court. They kind of just tried to sweep it under the rug and kind of expedite the situation. Mm-hmm. It was just going to, maybe $1,000 a fine, and they were charging with some low level stuff.
Yeah, initially they were just going to go to the Greek council, whatever the college thing was.
Well, they did that. Yeah. They actually did. Before the girl, Jazzy found out that the girl was doing all that stuff to her, she was still trying to go, have counseling with the girl so they can get along. And it's like,
no, I'm talking about the Greek Council for Discipline. The dean, they went to through the school, and it wasn't enough for what the allegations were. So.
Right. And then so, Robert, what's happening? You says white, period. Okay. And then Secret Garden says, got Polish friends, no white friends. Okay. Please tell me what the difference is. And Al says, sucking dick and crying behind the baby is not universal. Cardi B, Reese. Wow. How did Cardi B get in this?
Right.
I mean, and she's a whole other topic.
That's a whole other show.
Me and Donovan actually talked about that on our show this past Wednesday, the whole Cardi B effect. If you guys want to talk about her afterwards, we can. Not that we are talking about her because she makes great music, but just in the in reference to why do we keep falling for the low-hanging fruit that the music industry keeps giving us. Like Cardi B is nobody to be looking up to. It's a whole other topic, though. And Billy says, I do have white friends, no problem with them. Okay, well, great. He says, I'm a dominant personality, though, so you be scaring them? Is that what you're saying? You scare them into subjection? And Hannah says, really not sure. War is a weird space to be in, so it's not a normal situation. If not for going through war, we wouldn't even speak. Oh, okay, so you're saying that y'all kind of have like a common bond. So that's kind of why you guys are friends or friendly to this day.
As military people, like I said, I have a lot of redneck friends, and at the end of the day, when we're in the situation, we rely on each other. But once we come stateside, you go your way, I go mine. Okay.
And so, hey, Samuel, you say they can do acts of kindness. Yes. And again, that's the quote that I read, and some of you guys didn't see what Malcolm X said. Basically, there's a difference between being friends and being friendly. White people are friendly, even the ones, because I remember now the interviewer was basically asking him about all the white people that have been in the trenches with the civil rights stuff. And, Malcolm was pretty much saying, well, that those are, like you said, acts of kindness. That's being friendly. You can sympathize with a person, but I think we've all seen instances. At the end of the day, people are people, and they are going to side with their people for the most part. I mean, look at when Trump became president. A lot of us probably got white friends who we were blown away. Like, y'all support this guy? Really? Who knew? I didn't think that you would support Trump, but we're starting to see their true colors come about. And then Capri, hey D, what's happening, lady? I see that your daughter, what does she have, like some body creams or something? I saw you last weekend at a expo and she was selling them. So it sounds like your daughter is a young entrepreneur. So shout out to her. We need more people and children and just Black people in general like her. So she is the perfect example of what we all need to be doing. And then Samuel says, keyword act. Oh, yes, I totally agree. Again, that's what Malcolm was saying. It's friendly. You can be friendly. Like, we're friendly with people we don't know all the time. You go to the grocery store. Hey, how are you doing? Mm-hmm. That's friendly. Now, are we friends? No, because I don't know you. I don't really feel anything for you past the hi. How you doing?
Yeah,
so.
For all you know, that white person has a torture chamber in their house. And serial killers. Kind of hard to be friendly with people that you think might be serial killers.
And Billy says yes. And Al says Cardi D. Not Cardi B and sucking the D. Yeah. Okay.
Special shout out to Al doing that special guest hosting thing.
Oh, yeah. Al was on our show not this past week, but the week before that. So
if nobody saw it, you need to check it out. He did an excellent job.
Yeah, y'all rendition of the Dukes of Hazzard theme song. Yes. I was like, these dudes are
breaking
wild.
Breaking it down.
Yeah. Hey, Charles, you said when Mr. Obama became president, I lost a lot of white friends. Yes. That is a perfect example. When Obama became president, again, you're like, I'm shocked. Who knew you felt that way? Why? You can't give me any good reasons why you're mad at a Black president other than he's Black. And then you start hearing them feed into, he wasn't born over here. He's born over here.
No, he's very unpresidential, and his wife is the most salacious, disrespectful first lady. Those arms, shoulders.
Those arms and shoulders. Yeah, but we've seen Melania's whole hoo-ha.
Hoo-ha.
And then Capri, you say, body scrubs. We all need body scrubs. So I don't know if you have a link on your page, Capri. You guys want to go on over, get yourself some body scrub. And if you don't want a body scrub, buy somebody else who wants a body scrub. I have to come over there and get a body scrub from you. In Secret Garden, you say, when they talk with each other, they call themselves Italian. They don't refer to themselves outside of their names. So I respect those who respect me. I don't use blanket statements like all whites do this or that, all Blacks do this or that. And I agree. I think that's a fair statement. Mm-hmm. I have, let's see. I know white people who I'm friendly with. I know white people since high school who I am friendly with. And some of them, in fact, a lot of them have shown their true colors, which I'm not mad at them because I want you to do you. Mm-hmm. I want you to be who you are around me, regardless of what your views are, so we can just keep it pushing. Like, because I've always been this way and I'm not going to change. I'm going to be myself. So I expect everybody to be themselves. So that to me, that's a question I also have to ponder, just thinking about some of the people I know. Are we friends or are we just friendly? So I do respect that, Secret Garden. And Hannafy says, true friends understand each other. I personally understand very few people, so I don't believe many understand me. Whites cannot understand us. Yes, and that is a good point. They don't have the ability to understand us, but I don't think that they've really made an effort, even from the Middle Passage, to understand us. They've only tried to understand us in that, how can we get the most productivity out of them? I mean, we've seen all of the studies, the false studies about Black people and how white people think about us. Dr. Joyce DeGruy, she does this speech or this lesson called post-traumatic stress, post-traumatic slave syndrome, and that Black people are still going through the things were going through due to slavery. But in her talk or her symposium, whatever it is, it's awesome. She talks about all the studies they used to do on Black people. I can't think of the guy. He was the first, one of the first most famous gynecologists back in the day. But he would experiment on slave women with no anesthesia. Ooh. And his ideology was, they don't feel pain. They have a high tolerance for pain. Right. And so they weren't trying to understand us past trying to use us for maybe an experiment or for some hard labor, those type of things. So I totally agree with you, Hannah.
Hey, I have a question from the podcast. They say
somebody has a podcast question. Okay.
She says, what about people that are mixed and their friends? Because like I said, you're half white, you're half Black. Because you got that cousin on that one side of your white family, and they don't really recognize you. Then you have the...
So basically she's saying, what about your friends who are mixed?
Mixed, right.
I will say this, and I always tell everybody this, out of all the grandkids in my family, so the grandchildren that my mother had and my father have, there's 11 of them. And out of all 11, only my daughter is what you could call the full Black grandchild. Now, the rest of them are mixed with white, Puerto Rican, Panamanian, which, some will say Panamanian and Black, Puerto Rican are Black. Mm-hmm. So I will say this.
They think they have friends because they're...
Yeah, I would just say some of their mothers, or one of their mothers, and you guys can probably figure out which one. We didn't necessarily get along as much because she weaponized her whiteness, and I take that term from Charlamagne Tha God. She weaponized her whiteness whenever it was convenient for her. Just do some pretty heinous things to not just my brother, but to myself, my mom, my dad, because she knew who she was. And so I don't know if that answers the question. But that's my personal take.
Sure. No, I mean, I would say so because you got, I have mixed nieces and, they're like, oh, these are my friends. But they didn't realize in their white friends' eyes, you're Black. Always.
Right. Yeah. And so let's see. Did I miss? Okay. So Shauna, you say, I want to make sure I got all you guys' comments. Okay, so yes, the one person on my Facebook, I want to say at first I thought I have to delete, but I didn't. We respect one another, and she doesn't seem to care for Trump now either. Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I have a lot of white friends on my wall, a lot of white friends that I've gone to high school with, and we're still friendly to this day. And I agree. We respect each other's views. It is what it is. I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm too busy trying to educate myself and, form a dialogue with my people than I am trying to change the mind of somebody who will never, as Hannah said, understand me. That's not where my objective is. And Alice says, I was once told by some Black activist, Burl Ives was so happy with all that singing because he was excited because the Abominable Snowman,
yeah.
Or he said abdominal. So I think Abominable Snowman was the angry Black man in pain. There is something wrong with you. And Charles says, laugh out loud about Melania. Yeah, we've seen it. I didn't want to see it.
Hoo-ha!
But we've seen it. But Michelle can't show her arms without, oh my gosh.
Shoulders. How dare she?
Taking down the class from the White House. And then so... Secret Garden says, I'm only friends with people of like minds. You can't get a pass because of what you call yourself. Okay, well, that's fair, too. You say, I watch your actions. Oh, absolutely. Actions do speak louder than words. And so that's kind of where I'm basing some of my experiences off of. Actions. Hey, Ton, what's happening? You say, I have none. You say, you have